Hi, welcome back to ODE YouTube channel. Today I'm here for another long video. Please be aware that this will take some time, where I show you the pens that I received during the month of February of 2021. There will be no writing samples, just me showing the pens. I showed them before also on my unboxing videos, so be aware of that before you watch the video if you don't want to see the old stuff. So this month I got 21 pens, so lots of them. One is on loan, the other ones are for me, and there is also in these 21 there are, if I'm not mistaken, 12 Kawecos, so quite a lot of pens. And let's start showing you what I got this month. And so one of the pens that I got was this pen. This is an interesting item. This is let me just put the light a little bit closer, maybe a little brighter. This pen is this is the Jinhao 85, which is a pen that is very similar to the new Parker 51, and I bought it because of that, because I want to make a comparison video that I have to record one of these days. And this is one of the pens that I got during this month. The other pen that I got, this one is on loan, is the Parker 51. This is the Deluxe Black, which has the gold colored cap and it has a gold nib. The pens are very similar between each other, and so because the Jinhao 85 is quite inexpensive, I bought it specially for review purposes and because I want to make that comparison video between these two, the versus videos that I like. Maybe I will include in those versus video some, or at least one, where I compare those pens with the vintage Parker 51, the aerometric style. So I think this may be an interesting comparison, because you can see, in fact, the pens are very similar. I'm still struggling here a little bit with the light. The next pen I want to show you is that switch for 12 Kawecos in a row. And the first pen that I want to present you is the Kaweco Perkeo Jungle Green. This is one of the new pens. This is one of the new pens for the Kaweco, the new collection for 2021, and this is a new color for the Perkeo. Actually, it is kind of the same pen, but with a different color than usual. And I got this one and also this, which is the Peony Blossom, which is also an interesting color, but exactly the same kind of pen as the previous one, but with a different color. And I have to compare these with some of the older Kaweco Perkeos that were released last year and other years. Those used to have more mixed colors, and these have and these are kind of basic colors. This is the Kaweco Perkeo Retro Block. These ones have, I would say, nicer tones of color. Also, I received the Kaweco Perkeo All Clear, which is a pen that is all clear, in fact. Let me unscrew the barrel and take away that cartridge that came with the pen. I only have an empty one that also came with a pen, but it's easier to see how transparent it is because it is all clear, including the feed. When I made the unboxing video of this pen, I didn't even realize that even the feed was transparent. I didn't think about it. I thought, well, okay, it's a black one, it's the usual, but it wasn't. Actually, it was a viewer that told me after, hey, that feed, wasn't it transparent? Yes, it was. I didn't notice. And I think this pen will pair up very well with this last year's, I think it was last year's edition, the Kaweco Perkeo all black, which is a nice and interesting pen, all in black color. So I would say it is a complete contrast with this all clear. Even the name, all black, all clear, is kind of fun, that kind of contrast or similarity in the name. The next pen is also a pen for Kaweco and for the year of 2021. And the pen is this. This is a wonderful pen, very beautiful, in my opinion, one of the nicest colors. I would say that this kind of, it's called the Kaweco collection light lavender. I would say this kind of lavender color is not my favorite tone, but I really think this is a nice one. I don't think I ever saw a fountain pen with this kind of color, and I think this is really, really pretty. If you ask me, this is, in my imagination, from when I was a kid, this is the color of blackberry ice cream. And so I think I like the color just because it reminds me of blackberry ice cream. This pen is obviously the shorter than the Perkeo, because it is the Kaweco Sport, although this is the new line, which is Kaweco collection, that are Kaweco Sport pens that are only released for 1 year with silver trim. However, Kaweco made a mistake, and this was a fun one. I think it may be a nightmare for Kaweco and for the stores and distributors. I know that, but for us collectors it's amazing because Kaweco had mistakenly made several pens with the wrong cap, saying Kaweco Sport, the usual engraving, instead of Kaweco Collection. So there are 2 versions out there, and I'll have one of the wrong ones, but I don't have it yet because this was sent to me by Kaweco. And those were the pens that were sent to me by Kaweco. There was also an extra one that was a Perkeo, but it was a rollerball, so it won't be in this video. And there was even some other thing, but I was not supposed to show it yet, so I'm not going to show it here. I will show it later. Then, this is not one that I received. This is the Kaweco Skyline Sport Pink. This is the regular line of Kaweco Skyline, and it is here just for you to compare how subtle the light lavender is. The next Kaweco that I got, I will not say it was one Kaweco Sport, but 3 Kaweco Sports that make sense to be shown together, and they are these. This is a collection that was made for Asia, as I could understand, and it is a collection of 3 pens, all Skyline, which means that they have the same color in every part of the pen, all grey with chrome trim, and they are all different shades of grey. No relation with the book. So this is quite an interesting collection, because if you look at one separately, you will not be able to, at least I cannot, but I'm not that good with colors, I would not be able to identify which one is each, because they look alike in my opinion, but they are quite different when you look at them here in the video. I think you can really see the difference when they are together, and I think this was fun, just fun, and a way for Kaweco to get some money out of us collectors. And just for a comparison, this is, let me identify the names. This is the Skyline Sport Cement, Skyline Sport Pebble, and Skyline Sport Granite. And we already had the Kaweco Skyline Sport Grey, which I always found to be a nice shade of grey. But you can see it is quite darker than the other ones. And just also for comparison, the regular Kaweco Skyline Sport white and the Kaweco Skyline Sport black. And you have a very nice grayscale. I love to watch the pens like this. It's hard to explain. It's really nice to look at least for me. But I really like photography, so it makes sense to me to see this lining up of gray steps, and I think it's nice. Okay, this I had previously. The next pen is also a set of two. This is the Kaweco. The top one is the Skyline Sport Transparent in Classic Blue, and this one, the Kaweco Classic Sport Transparent in Classic Blue. So they are both blue pens, they are both transparent, even if it is not that visible, but I showed you in the unboxing video and I had the lighting setup prepared to show you they are really different. And this is a special edition that was made for Golsdpot. It is an exclusive edition, and they are engraved in one side Kaweco Sport and in the other side Golsdpot. One with gold trim, the other one with chrome trim as usual. And for comparison purposes, I have here the last year's edition for Golsdpot pens, which was this one, the transparent turquoise, which is a different shade of color. It is available in chrome trim, and it's really different, and it didn't have the Golsdpot engraving. And I have here also another transparent pen. Yes, it is transparent, not that easy to see, and it is the 2000s, the year 2000 edition of the Microsoft Kaweco Sport for Microsoft, and you can see it is a different shade of blue. And we go from this one to the last three Kaweco Sports. If you're not a fan of Kaweco Sport, this video may be not that fun so far. I have here this one, and this one is the Kaweco Sport Golden Espresso. It has very nicely made here a blind engraving saying Kaweco AL Sport Germany, but in the other side it has the imprint in gold. It's called Golden Espresso and it has gold trim. So this is a very beautiful matte grey fountain pen, matte brown fountain pen that I really enjoy. I always like to show pens in comparison, and in this case I think it makes sense to show you all the ones that sound like hot beverages, and or at least ingredients for them. This is the Creme Kaweco Skyline Sport Kaweco Classic, because it has gold trims, sorry. Kaweco Classic Sport Creme, or Creme, I'm not sure. This is a special, exclusive edition, regional edition. I don't know if this is no. Sorry, I don't know if this one is still available. I don't think so. We have the Kaweco Skyline Sport Macchiato, which is still available, and in some places it is called Cappuccino. Also, this Creme is called in some places Paladin. I've seen that. Then we have this one which has mixed colors, black and this macchiato, but it is a classic sport instead of a Skyline Sport, and it is called the black macchiato, and it was made in exclusive for Most Wanted Pens, a store in Germany. We have the Mocha, which was an exclusive for Fontoplumo and also for the Australian store that was called, it's called Milligram now, but it had a previous name that I can't remember now. This is Mocha in Fontoplumo, and in the Australian store it was called Caramel. And we have here the chocolate, classic sport chocolate, or even Kaweco in some places, but let's call it the chocolate version because it makes more sense in this beverage collection. And let's go to the two last Kaweco pens, and we have the Kaweco AEL Sport Midnight Green, which is also an exclusive for Asia. It is a pen with black trim, black nib, black medallion with the Kaweco logo on top of the cap, and it has a blind engraving on the cap instead of an imprint. This is a beautiful pen. I will leave links below for most of them if you want to try to find any. This pen is very similar to a pen that had lots of controversy, which was this Kaweco AEL Sport Petrol, which was a special edition for Benelux, Belgium, Netherlands and Luxembourg, and it had a very nice color, but it had chrome trim and it had the white imprint on the cap. So if you ask me, they are very similar. This one has maybe a nicer tone. This one is more matte finish than that one, and you can see the difference. Maybe the color is slightly different. I would say this is more on the blue side, and that one, the Midnight Green, is more on the green side. And for comparison with an actual AEL Sport Green, I have here the Kaweco AEL Sport Paladin Green, which was also an exclusive edition, and you can see, or a special edition, you can see these ones look alike if you do not compare with that one, but when you compare both of these, maybe you can see a slight difference that I don't know if it is there because of a real color difference or if it is just the finish, one being matte, the other one don't, if that makes any kind of difference in the light reflection. And now, finally, for Kaweco, we are going to this one, also an Asian pen, or an exclusive edition for Asia, which is Kaweco. I don't know if I can show it to you. Kaweco Hello Kitty. And Hello Kitty pen is a strange pen, in my opinion. It has gold nib, a gold colored nib and gold medallion on top of the cap. It has the Kaweco there, and then the company that holds the rights for Hello Kitty, and you can see that the nib is a special engraved nib with the Hello Kitty face there. So it is kind of interesting. I think this is a beautiful shade of rose or pink, and some people in my comments of yesterday's video when I showed this pen, they told me maybe this is a strange pen to take it out in a meeting or something like that, but it's not. It's not a flashy pen, and if you don't, it's just a matte pink pen, and I find that I don't really like these kind of bright pink, but I like the light pink. I think it's very nice, and I don't have any problem in using pink pens. I don't like that shade, but this one I do. And if you don't know that there is the Kaweco, there is the Hello Kitty logo there instead of the Kaweco logo, you will not know that. You'd have to look at it very carefully to check it. So I think it's really nice, although I don't like Hello Kitty that much. For just a small comparison, I have here the Kaweco AEL Sport, also exclusive edition, this one for Japan, which is it is upside down. This is the Sakura Lucent, but this one is one of those with a smooth, shiny surface, and this is one of the matte surfaces that I like a lot. And now, okay, I think this is enough for Kaweco for now, and we'll go into older pens. I will not say vintage especially, but all the next pens are no longer in production. As far as I know, I'm not sure about one. This is a pen that I got very recently. This is a Centropen, and this is an interesting pen. It is a Centropen Student. I don't know if I can show you the engraving there. 2069. It is an interesting pen. It is a pen from Czechoslovakia, and it has steel nib that reminds me a little bit the nib of a Parker 45. And I have here one. It's not red, it is burgundy. Also, this one has a push fit cap, but the nib is almost the same. But I would say that the plastic on the Parker 45 is more substantial than the very light plastic of this one. It is a cartridge converter pen, very simple. And if you ask me, this cool pen, does it remind me something? Yes, it does. It reminds me this one. I know the shape is different, but the color is almost the same. The kind of plastic, of cheap plastic, is the same. This one has a rubberized triangular grip section, and it is also a cartridge converter pen, but there is something in common between these two school pens. This is the Faber-Castell School Plus. The next pen is the Bic X-Pen Select. This is a silver colored pen with a metal cap, or at least a metal clip, and it has an interesting nib with Bic logo. It is interesting because in a way most of fountain pen users blame Bic for taking the business out of fountain pens, but actually at some time Bic bought a brand that was already in the market, which was called Stypen, which was a French brand, and Stypen made these nibs in some of their models with Stypen logo or other engraving, not of course the Bic engraving, and they already had the same kind of cap as you can see here on the Stypen Up. This is one that with a retractable nib. But it is interesting to see this kind of evolution, how a Stypen ended and gave place to a Bic, which is a brand that not every fountain pen lover will like. Now, the other pen I have to show you is this one. This is a nice one. This is a Rotring 600, which is a nice pen, a black one. I showed you this very recently also. I bought it here in Lisbon downtown. This is a pen that is very expensive. Even with some problems, it is expensive on eBay if you find it. I will put some links below. It has a medium nib. It is a typical Rotring pen, and Rotring pens are usually good. It doesn't have a converter, but it has this open card. It is ready to write. I just need to ink it, but I have too many pens inked right now. And it has a little crack in the barrel that it is something that happened. It is amazing to see a metal pen with a crack on the barrel. This one was repaired by the seller and it was very inexpensive because I noted it was cracked one time. I went back and asked him if he still had the pen, and if he made me discount I would buy it, and he made me that discount and he sold me the pen that he tried to correct there. So it is a nice interesting pen. It was also without this rubber O-ring that keeps the cap posted if you want, but I just put an O-ring that I had around and the pen is ready to go again. So this is an interesting pen, but when we are talking about the Rotring 600, we have to talk about the Rotring Newton, which is not the same pen, but in some aspects it's very similar. It also has this hexagonal shape. It is quite heavy and it has the same kind of nib, even if the section is not the same. And then with time there was even another evolution of the Newton that made this pen with slanted parts that had this shape, and they have a different nib than the previous ones. And also they have an interesting feature, is that to release the section you need to unscrew the back of the cap instead of unscrewing the section itself. Another pen that I bought, and I'm going to show these two maybe more close to each other, was this one, and this is the Lamy logo. I bought this pen not because I was really interested in it, but I got it. I have to ink it to try it, but I didn't have the chance yet. You see, so many pens inked at the time. I don't have the time to check them all. So Lamy logo, a nice interesting pen with the same Lamy nib as almost every other Lamy pen has. And I bought this one because it came in a lot with this pen, and this is a Lamy CP1 in brushed steel, but this one is a brushed steel pen that is the slimmer version, is not the CP1 in the regular size. I have here a Lamy CP1 with the regular size, and you can see it is 1 millimeter wider than that one. And I got it because I found it was fun. They have slightly different nibs that are not interchangeable. When you look at them like this, you think they are the same, but when you look them at the side, you can see that they are different. But otherwise they are almost the same pen. This one is slimmer. This one has a gold nib, and it is a very wide gold nib. And I wanted this one for my collection, so I bought that one. And to fit with these ones, with both of these, I think the Lamy 2000 I have is really nice to fit in the middle, because this Lamy 2000 still is a very beautiful pen, also with the same kind of finish. I also got another Lamy CP1, which was this one, and I asked in my video when I opened it, is this a real Lamy CP1? I was not saying this is a fake pen. I don't think this is a fake pen. This is a Lamy CP1. In fact, I'm sure of that. It is a Lamy CP1, but it has the typical cap, the typical clip. However, this is a very, very shiny pen, like if it is chrome plated. What I ask is, was this ever produced as it is? I didn't see any reference to it. Or is this pen something that was modified in the factory, or if this is some kind of an experiment, or if this is some extra after purchase change? It may have been one of those. Otherwise, this is a Lamy CP1. However, the cap and the end part have slight different tones. So sometimes I think if they didn't use the Lamy, I think there is a Lamy Linea, I'm not sure, that has the same kind of barrel, which is shiny like that. And if they picked one of, not this one, the slim ones, but the regular sized CP1s in steel, and they did polish it completely to get this same kind of finish. I'm not sure. I really would like to find out. I will send an email to Lamy and wait to see if they reply me, because I would like to know if this is a real pen, has real production. However, sometimes I like to see some modifications of pens, so I'm not feel if this is not real, if this was modified by someone, I don't feel cheated. I just want to know. I'm curious to know, but I like the pen as it is. The final pen was also a German pen, and you can see here most of the pens were from Germany. We have a pen from China, the Jinhao, one pen from France, the Parker 51. All the Kawecos are from Germany. This pen was from Czechoslovakia, now Czech Republic. This one is from France, from Germany, Germany, and the final pen is also from Germany. This is a very interesting and nice pen. I really enjoy it. This is a Mont Blanc, but it's not one of a fancy Mont Blanc. I don't know if you can check there, but it's written there, Mont Blanc Junior 622. This was a school pen. It is a piston filler. I don't know if you can see there the separation of the piston filler. It is inked now. It has some ink windows, you can see there, in diamond shape. It is very nice. It has a very nice shape of nib that reminds me the overall design of many pens from this age, and I think this is really an interesting pen with a very good nib. It writes really well, and it is amazing how a school pen can be as good as this one. One thing that is interesting is the size of the clip. The cap. The cap is very, very big. The cap that is, when the pen is capped, the cap seems bigger than the rest of the barrel. But we're not talking about the pocket pen where that is supposed to happen, the cap to be bigger than the barrel, but it looks like that. And when you post the pen to write with, it becomes a very full size and very comfortable because it posts steeply. This is one of those pens that is made to be posted. I have to say that this pen reminds me a lot of the Mont Blanc Carrera, which has kind of a similar design, different nib, different cap, but also plastic barrel, semi-hooded nib and metal cap. However, that one is a piston filler and this is a cartridge filler. And I have here, just for comparison, another pen that I think it's somehow similar, a different shade of blue, but this is the Parker, one Parker 45. There were lots of Parker 45s, and you can see it's also very interesting, also with a semi-hooded nib, and somehow I think in terms of design they make sense all together. So these were the pens that I got during this year. Lots of work to do to ink them all, to review them. Of course I will not ink them all at the same time. Some of them are inked. This one, the Bic and the Mont Blanc, they are already inked, and you already have available reviews for the Parker and the Kaweco Light Lavender. They are already on the channel. You can check the links below. You can check links for stores where you may be able to buy some of these pens. And I think this is all for today. Sorry for a very long video, but I kind of like to do this, and this is kind of good for me because I don't keep track of every pen that I get in each month, and this is a way, if I want to go back, instead of looking at my Excel file that I don't have, I should, but I don't, I go back to my videos and check what I have. And meanwhile, I hope you enjoyed them also. So if you did, don't forget to put the like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back soon for some more videos. one of the following videos. I'm not sure if it will be the next, but soon I will make a video with the pens that have ink for the month of March. So this is all for today, and I hope to see you next video. Bye.